What's up everyone, your friendly neighborhood Onesie guy here, once again coming at you with another card review for Voyage to the Sunken City. Now with these latest cards, the card I have personally been waiting for to see in the set has come up, and it has not disappointed. It looks like it's going to be very interesting, kind of one of those Kazakhstan swinging cards, but we'll get a look at that in just a moment. I just want to remind you guys that if you haven't subscribed to the channel yet and you are liking these videos, please go ahead and do that. It does help me, it helps the channel grow, and gets me to possibly be doing this full time. So without further ado, let's go into the cards. First up today, we have a 1-mana hunter spell, Barb Nest. Deal 2 damage to an enemy. If you played a Naga while holding this, choose a second target. Again, this is just at face value without the conditions, a 1-mana deal 2, and we've already seen now with the Quest Hunter, they play spells like this. Quest Hunter runs 1-mana deal 2 damage. However, this does have an upside of, if you've played a Naga while holding this, you get to choose a second target. So if you've done damage to face, you can choose a minion. If you've done damage to a minion, you can choose face. You can choose 2 minions, whatever your choice is. However, again, it says choose a second target. So does this mean this spell is effectively going off twice? Is it this the same spell, or does it count as 2 spells? Which in my previous video I did think about with another hunter spell and how that's going to work within the Quest Hunter build. Because if you have something like this and you've played a Naga and you hit twice, this could proc 2 things of your quest if I'm reading it correctly. However, something like Explosive Trap, which does do 2 damage to all enemies, that does hit a number of targets, that only counts as 1. So there is a lot of evidence there that this will still only count as 1 spell, but still dealing that additional damage is great. Again, if you've got our friend Raj on board already, if he was the Naga that you played while this is in your hand, you know, you're dealing 2 damage to face plus an extra 1, plus if you're playing quest and it's refreshing your quest, an additional 2 however. So it looks like Hunter is definitely getting some additional spells that are not specifically minion targeted, which is exactly what Quest Hunter wants, is spells that can hit people in the face. And again, if a whole new archetype comes out with Spell Face Hunter, this will be perfect for them as well, because it's just hitting people in the face with extra damage. Again, depending on what else you have on board, we may end up doing a hell of a lot more damage and just bombing them down in 1 turn. So in my opinion, this is definitely going to see play. This is without a doubt going to see play. If certain other spells have already seen play, this at 1 mana is definitely going to see play. Will it get nerfed? Highly likely. Is there a possibility this goes up to 2 mana pretty soon? Is a very good possibility, just because of the power level of this card. I think, especially for a common card, is pretty good. Next up, we have Azshara Vessel. Summon 2 3/3 pirates with stealth and put a Sunken Vessel at the bottom of your deck. And then we look up again there, it's Sunken Vessel, and it's a cast when drawn spell. Summon 2 3/3 pirates with stealth. And then we can go look there at the different pirates you summon. So obviously with Azshara Vessel, you summon the Azshara Pirate, and with Sunken Vessel, you summon the Sunken Pirate. Basically the same card, just you know, alive and dead. So yeah, this for a 5-mana spell, roguelike stealth cards. So 5 mana for 6/6 worth of stats with stealth is pretty good, and adds another one to the bottom of your deck, cast when drawn. And if we go look at some of the dread stuff, that stuff can put it right at the top of your deck. You could at the next turn have another 2 3/3s drawn or on your board, also with stealth. And again, this is a cast when drawn spell, so you don't have to physically play it out. Rogue has a lot of card draw in there. You've got a lot of ways to pull out. I mean, you know, we've already seen with Weapon Rogue pulling out bleeds and dishing out a lot of face damage. So if you are going for a rogue that is going to be more board focused like this, with minions with stealth, that you can end up giving additional stats to with some other cards. You can pull off this and have your board full up pretty quickly, and hit your opponent for a lot of damage. So high potential this card will see play, especially that the ones that are summoned are pirates. It looks like Rogue is getting quite a bit of pirate support, so whether this is going to fit into some other things where you can buff pirates, give them additional stats, or even additional effects like Wind Fury or Poison or something, I definitely think if a pirate rogue is, again, pardon the pun, on the cards, this will definitely be a great addition to that. Next up, we have the Fires of Zin Ashari, a 2-mana spell for warrior. Replace your deck with minions that cost 5 or more. They cost 5. So unlike other cards like maybe Kazakhstan, this is not adding anything to your deck. It's replacing your deck with these minions. So if you have a bunch of crappy cards left in your deck and you want minions, cool, go play this. You can get some potentially high roll cards, some potentially powerful minions. However, looking at it, it is random minions. So it doesn't even say class minions. They could be any 5-cost minions, and we have some 5-cost minions that are not going to be great for whatever situation you're facing or whatever build you're running. So as much fun and as my favorite streamer Regis would say, shenanigans this card could provide, I don't see it seeing little to no play with this card. It's pretty much just a meme card. Somebody will find a way to use it. This possibly might find a nice spot in duels, that you can add some additional minions to your deck, or if you're running very low cost minions, making those bigger and costing 5, that could be pretty fun. However, yeah, as it stands now, just as a card at face value in standard, don't think it's going to see any play at all. Fun card, but not great as a playable in this meta, or pretty much anything. Next up, we have another warrior card, 9-mana, 8/9 beast, Trench Stalker, Battlecry, attack 3 different random enemies. Again, enemies, not enemy minions. So this can go face very easily. Opponent only has 2 minions out, your opponent has 1 minion out, and it will attack that. So it says attack 3 different random enemies. So emphasis here for me is on the different. If your opponent doesn't have 3 enemies to attack, does this just only attack twice? Most likely attack twice or attack once. Again, and this is a battle cry as it's played. So this could be something put in your deck as a game ender, knowing that you can deal 8 damage straight to face if your opponent's board is clear. However, the 9 mana cost is what concerns me. It is a pretty expensive minion to pull out there. It is a beast, and as far as I know, I don't think warrior has any beast synergies. If this was maybe in hunter and you could pull it out of your hand some way, that would have been great, but as it stands, I don't think we'll find a place for this. I mean, it's a brilliant card artwork. I love the Hydra look to it. I love what the effect does, and what it could potentially at its best do, but for a 9 mana cost to possibly not do anything, maybe a board clear. You have other cheaper board clears in warrior for that as well. So yeah, at its high cost, I don't think that's going to get anywhere. Then we have a 9-mana spell for priest, Whirlpool, destroy all minions and all copies of them wherever they are. So yeah, this is firstly, I think, the first nature spell I've seen for priest, which is pretty cool. Secondly, some people might be worried about the cost of this, but this effect is really powerful. I mean, we know another card which only costs 1 less, which wipes the entire board clean. That has been played for a very long time, that being Twisting Nether. So this is Priest version of Twisting Nether. However, it doesn't only destroy the minions on board, destroys the minions in the opponent's hand or in their deck as well. However, bad side to this is if you have a board that you are afraid to get rid of, then you're kind of screwing yourself over. That being said, Priest like spells, and there are a lot of Priest decks already now that run more spells than minions and are more spell based than minion based, so you may not even have any minions on the board that you even care about losing. So this is an extremely powerful card. Can definitely destroy your opponent's game plan with those big minions that can come down cheap, like flesh giants, like brutes, that you definitely want to have more of than less. And this can destroy both copies of those bigger minions that have some crazy effects. Even some other things out there, even if this is just played to destroy one minion, a really big Mutanus, that is still perfectly fine. So I think this card, because of how prevalent Twisting Nether has been over the years, I definitely think this will see a lot of play, especially in spell-based priest decks, which is pretty much almost always one of the archetypes for priest. And then I think lastly we come up to the card I have been waiting for, the Queen herself, a 5-mana 5/5 neutral naga. So again, you can play this in any class. Battle cry: if you've cast 3 spells while holding this, choose an ancient relic. So we have the 4 ancient relics you can choose from here. Horn of the Ancients, a 3-mana spell which adds a random colossal minion to your hand, and it costs 1. So again, potentially powerful board swing depending on which colossal you get. The random part of it is a bit concerning, but just because it costs 1, all the colossal minions are, again, colossal, and they have a lot of stats attached to them. So that alone just makes Horn of the Ancients a pretty powerful card to play, especially if you're going for board-based potential. Next we have Ring of Tides. After you cast a spell, this becomes a copy of it that costs 1. So this stays in your hand, and you play a different spell, copy it to, and it basically get a 1-mana copy of that spell to play again. I think something like that would work really well within Priest with the 0-mana naga we saw that refresh mana at the end of your turn. Even for end of game swings, I mean, you have this in your hand, you have already played, maybe you've played Kazakhstan, and you've got some really powerful spells coming your way. You have something like Embers of Ragnaros or something like that, and you play that, and then you play this, and then you have a 1-mana Embers of Ragnaros that can end the game. So extremely powerful, I think, Ring of Tides, and I definitely think this will be run in Kazakhstan decks purely because of the potential of that one card. I think it's enough of a risk to run that one card to get that to have a pretty much OTK almost. Then we come up to another card, Tidestone of Golganath, I think it's pronounced. Shuffle 5 random spells in your deck, set their cost to 1, draw 2 cards. Again, quite powerful, but those are 5 random spells, obviously from any class. That may potentially be not what you want. Again, it's pretty cool if you're going for something like a Kazakhstan deck, because you end up spending 1 mana to draw 2 cards, and potential high rolls on the other spells, but also Kazakhstan treasures being drawn that way. So don't think it's as powerful as the other 2 treasures so far, or other 2 relics so far, but definitely is something quite powerful. And then last up we have Zalanath, I think it is pronounced, anyone who knows can correct me, and that is a 2 mana 0/5 weapon. After you cast a spell, deal 2 damage to the enemy hero and lose 1 durability. So yeah, this can be used in a number of decks, and can be some potentially game-ending stuff. You need that extra 2 damage. I feel like it is not as powerful even as the Tidestone. For basically you're getting 10 free damage to face. I don't see a way of increasing that other than, in warrior adding extra durability, or even in mage adding extra durability to your weapon, just to get that extra 2 damage. With this, I don't think that spell damage will increase the amount of damage it does to face, because it's not a spell, it's a weapon dealing that damage. So yeah, I don't find it that powerful unless you potentially have something that you're just missing that last damage to end the game. You play this, you get the weapon, and you can end the game. However, in any other case, I don't see that as a great pick. Overall, especially something compared to something like Ring of Tides, I don't see its potential of being picked as often as any of the other relics. But we'll have to wait and see. But personally, I love this card. I hope I pull this on day 1 just so I can try and put this into a Kazakhstan deck and see what I can come up with, and just how much random things I can do with this card, because it definitely has the potential to be a very, very powerful card. So yeah, that wraps up today's video, or today's final video. I will be back again tomorrow with the next batch of card reviews. I have to make sure and see how many days we have left. I know there are some other announcements thrown in there. I'm personally very excited for the deals announcement that is coming through on the 24th. So that is in fact in 2 days if I'm looking at it, or tomorrow potentially if you're watching this. Very excited for that announcement, and we'll definitely be doing a video on that announcement on its own as well. So thank you guys again for joining me here, tuning into this video. Hope you have a good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you're watching this from, and I'll see you guys again soon. Bye for now.